Hello and welcome to Ivycreates. I'm Deanna Carroll. Go and click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our videos on Thursday. Thank you very much for watching, and leave us a comment below so we know what you're thinking. We do go back and read them, so have a wonderful day and I hope you enjoy this craft. So today we're going to be doing 12 DIY Dollar Tree angels for Christmas. Some of them made from toys, some of them made from wood cutouts. Our first one is made from actually two wood cutouts. One is actually called Man, and it's in a woodcraft area of Hobby Lobby. And the butterfly woodcraft cutout is going to be from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to paint them in the white color with my Dixie Belle cotton. And so I like using the butterflies. They're very handy to use for a lot of different things, and you can find them at Dollar Tree, which is fantastic. Now, if I didn't have the little Man wooden cutout thing, it's supposed to be a doll for like a dollhouse. But if I didn't have that, I would just use a round wooden bead at the top of the butterfly to create the head of an angel. And then put a piece of fabric down below to create a dress. It's not hard. And if you think that, you would like to see me do that, please leave a comment below. Also, please subscribe and share this with your friends. So now I am just adding a little bit of glitter to the wings. I used my Scribbles fabric paint, the 3D fabric paint, which is my favorite, in pearl. And I just, like you're frosting a cake, I went over the wings and, just marked lines around them. And you will see this more later on because I use this quite frequently. And then I added my extra fine glitter. Now what I'm doing now is painting royal gold folk art paint. And I'm painting the chenille stem, which was already gold, but it was a brassy, ugly, bright gold that I didn't care for, and not rustic or farmhousey looking at all. Not shabby. So I painted the chenille stems. I'm waiting for those to dry, and I'm using some of my jute twine that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree and just making a bow around the neck of the doll and putting the halo on with a big glob of hot glue. I tend not to do it in a circle because I prefer to put it all around the head. It's just easier to place the halo, and I also do not like my halos just perfect. I kind of cock them to the side a little bit because it's cute, and then I put glitter in the middle of the circle of the halo to fill it in, sort of. So the next one we're going to be doing is a fairy doll that I got from the Dollar Tree. $1 is all that it costs. You can see I've done one before in the white shabby chic kind of look. And this is the container. I love using toys when I can, because you can always find them pretty cheaply. So it's good to use that as a base for many projects. So the only thing that I did is she comes with a ponytail in her hair. And so I wrap that around and glue it, and do be careful because her hair is plastic. But I wrap it around like a bun, wrap it around her ponytail and glue it in place. And then also she had these little pieces on the bottoms of the wings, and you could see it in the other angel that I did. And I cut those off and kind of smoothed it over to give it, a little bit better look than I had on the other angel that I did. I left them on the previous angel. Now this, my puppy dog, Lefty, God love him, he likes to eat whatever, so he was eating one of my silk sunflowers. So I got the petals and then I folded them in half, but not perfectly in half, just a little bit off, so that they would show all the petals. And I intend to use those eventually for maybe wings for her, or if I want to change her up and let her continue to be a fairy, or change her to be an angel, however you want to do it. Each little add that you add to it, or keep it simple, either way, is a different type of angel that you can do. You can do these for gifts. They make great gifts. They make great to hang on your tree. And they're very simple and easy, and it takes no time. And you can have fun if you have children picking out your toys and what you want to hang on the tree, and you can paint it to however you want it painted. So this is Chalk Country Finishes paint that I'm using, and it's got a bit of a sandy kind of a grit to it, and you can feel it. So I do a couple of coats of this on our little fairy. And you can see in the bottom left hand side of the screen, I believe it is, the other angel, and you can kind of see the tips on the bottoms of her wings that I cut off of the fairy that I have right now that I'm working on. And these little fairies come in all different colors. They come in pink and yellow and green and blue, but you can paint them to whatever color you want. You can leave them natural or paint their whole face and everything. So you can see now that I am beginning to paint her dress, and I went ahead and painted her feet because it was just easier, so it looks like she has shoes on. It was just easier to paint her that way. Most of this type of chalk paint, and I will tell you that of course the best is Dixie Belle, but most of this chalk paint sticks very easily to whatever you put it on, so that is always a good thing. You don't have to worry about priming stuff or anything like that with the chalk paints because they stick. And even so, Dixie Belle does have a slick stick, so if you've got a really slick surface, you can also get Dixie Belle and slick stick, and you can put that on as a primer and it'll have anything stick to it. So this is what we're doing. We're just painting out her dress and painting out her wings, and I'm going to show you what she looks like in just a second. Got to dry her off. There she is, and she's pretty just like that. I didn't have to do anything more, but you know, I'm extra, so I'm going to do more. So next we're going to put on her little fairy wings with her flower petals, and you could use any flower petal for this. You don't have to use this. It just so happened that my dear sweet doggy tore up my pretty silk flower, so I am going to use sunflower wings for this little angel, and this is just to add a little bit extra. And you can see that I am kind of putting the halo around the bun of her hair. So that is where I end up putting it and twisting it on with the wire cutters, which I really didn't have to twist it on, but I just did to hold it in place really good. And she looks pretty just like that. And you could put a hanger on her and just hang her up just like that, but we're going to add the wings now. And you can see I'm just gluing them on right in behind her so that they will be sturdy and stick to her back and not show. Yeah, these are called fairy dolls. And I swear that says poopy, but I don't know. It says something. Pounce? I don't know. Maybe that's another language. Who knows? But it's a fairy doll from Dollar Tree. Alright, now you can see we have her glued on there. And since I already had the other color painted, now this is yet another look for your little doll. But I had the other color painted on the back, so now you can see if I paint her completely, body and everything, to make her like a shabby chic farmhouse kind of looking doll. And I found some sheer ribbon to match, and what I did was I used this Chalk Country Finishes, and it's called, what is it, Wheat, I believe. Yeah, wheat is the color, and then I painted her whole body with that, and then I went back with some gold and added gold around the edges, really dry brushed it into that, because like I said, that chalk country has the real gritty finish to it, and it's very porous, so you don't have to use a lot, and you can put the little gold just to add the extra flair to it. Gotta add extra flair, of course. So I put the bow on the front of her little dress, and you can see with the other one that I'd done previously that I painted in Dixie Belle, and I went over gold with her. Although up against these guys, she looks kind of ghostly. But I ended up putting another sheer bow on the front of her dress as well, because I just liked the way it looked. And that's just something, a little extra you can do. You can see on her that I didn't trim off the bottom of her wings, and it makes a difference. I like it. I prefer it with the bottom of the wings trimmed. So our next group of angels is actually something I picked up from a thrift store. I think I paid less than $2 for these, and I believe that they are plaster of Paris. Because they felt so soft only. You could do this with ceramic, you could do this with anything, but I just wanted to make them look better and make them look new and give you some new ideas. These are things that you could either use as ornaments themselves, or you could apply them to something like a wood sign, or some sort of decoration, a wreath, or even a mantelpiece, and use them that way. Now I'm just covering them with the chalk country finishes in the matte chalk finish of wheat, and it immediately starts to clean them up and get them looking good. I mean, of course I already cleaned them, but it makes them look sharp. So and this wheat color is like an off-white kind of, and it's got a little bit of a yellow undertone. Very soft and sweet looking. I'm just painting in, making sure I get all those crevices filled and get it good in a solid, good base coat on these angels. And I do 2 coats as the base coat on these angels, because they were very, very porous. And in addition to that, I go back on 2 of the angels, and I added Mod Podge on top of the 2 angels, because I wanted to antique them, and because they are so porous, I didn't want the antiquing to go all the way into the paint, because then it would just, I don't know, not look as good. So I used Mod Podge and to cover it with some sort of finish, and even after I did this, it was still somewhat porous. So but I covered them with the Mod Podge so that I could go in and antique 2 of the angels, just to show you different finishes that you can do. And I love to be able to find things that are at thrift stores, because you can always refinish them and make them new, whether they're ceramic or wood or whatever it is. So you can see now that I'm putting a thin brown Americana paint. I thinned it out, and I'm just putting it down in those cracks and crevices of the angel, and this is just to strictly show detail. And I'm putting it down in all the crevices, painting over it pretty good, and then going back and wiping it off with my paper towel. And you'll see as I do that. This one here is what I wanted to make a garden looking angel, like something you would find out in the yard, and make it look like it's been aged out there with, you know, all the things that go on outside. So I cover it pretty well with this thinned out brown, wipe it off, and after that I go into our green color, which is like a mossy green. And like I said, I always use these paint pots because I can mix my own colors in them, but it is Americana paints, so I go and I mix my own colors, and I don't have to go back into the bottles of paint. It preserves my paint bottles, And my little paint pots are portable, so I can put them wherever and take them with me. So you can see now I'm just adding like little bits of this mossy green color. It's a dark mossy green color, and that is to make it look like it's naturally grown moss somewhere outside, if it were sitting outside. Just a different look to give you different ideas of what you could do with these guys. I could go in and spray paint all of them gold. I could go in and paint them all my royal gold, folk art, royal gold that I love. Or I could just leave them this plain wheat color, which is very pretty and very classy, very classic. So I'm just adding in those little extra details of the green, and you can get an idea of what it looks like. And then this one here I did with the royal gold, so you could see that as well. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be using butterfly wings again. Now this time my butterfly's body is kind of in the way, so I go and with my needle nose pliers I just basically break off the tips. And I'm trying the different little doll bodies that I gotten from Hobby Lobby, and so I'm breaking off the tips here. You can see I want to break off the little, I call them whiskers, but I think they're really antlers, and break those off so they won't show up behind the angel. I've also gotten a wood cut out there from the Dollar Tree of a heart, and so the heart is also a good usage. So when you need angel wings, think of butterflies and hearts. And I've even thought about using stars before, but I've yet to find the star that's just perfect that I want to use. So what I do is once I snip off those pieces that were on the butterfly, I go back and I sand them real good so that it's not so sharp of an edge, and make sure it's nice and polished like that. And then choose whichever doll fits the best on my butterfly wings. And like I said, you don't have to have a doll. You can have just a round bead and use it as a head at the top of the item, and then paint it and make it to look. I've also done, you can see now I'm cutting the heart bottom across the bottom, and then I'm going to cut it a little bit more and make it into our angel wings. And it's just a matter of cutting the pieces of the heart to make it look like an angel. And I ended up really not liking how wide the heart was. The heart that I chose was too wide, so I clipped the wings a little bit to make them a little thinner, and I ended up really liking that because it gave it more of that rustic look to it. It wasn't perfect, you know. So one of the other types of angels that I do is a cotton ball angel, and they're hugely popular. When I had my store, it was a hugely popular item, and it's a little cotton ball with a you know, like a wooden head on it, and it's all sprayed up and cute with, you know, everything, but it's absolutely adorable. And if you want to see me make a cotton ball angel, please leave a comment below and let me know, and I'll try to find me a cotton ball to make for you guys. And don't forget to subscribe and share if you like what you see. You can see I'm painting all of this with that Chalk Country Finishes wheat color. I could do these finishes any way I wanted to. If I wanted to do the butterfly in, you know, like a tie-dye look, or just to dip it in different colors of paint and or stains or anything like that, I could do all that, because all these pieces are wood, so they soak up stain, they soak up a lot of things. And don't be afraid to use different things. I have what is it called, fabric paint and fabric stain, and they have those fabric stain pens, and those look really good on wood, and the wood just soaks up that stain color. So you can get them in any color too, so if you want it blue or green or purple, it can be whatever you want it to be. And you can make it look like kind of like a batik look, which is the Hawaiian shawl look, you know, all the bright colors and very tie-dye. So this is simple, shabby chic, modern farmhouse kind of look that we're going for today. But if you wanted to do crazy colors, please do crazy colors. Do you? If you want to add snow text, you can add that. That's a thick white paint that you can put on things to make it look like snow. Do whatever you want to do in your design and make it look good. Now, I found this awesome tin ribbon, and it looks like the antique tin ceiling tiles and stuff, and you know how they used to do it back couple hundred years ago. And I found that in the wedding section of Hobby Lobby, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can use that for so many things. So I wrapped it around the bottom of the angel, and you'll see later on I wrap it around the middle of another angel to give it a little pizzazz or difference in the way that it looks. And it came out super cute. I was very pleased with it. So now I've painted everything, and I'm attaching the wings to the body of, and these three angels that I'm making right now, I called them my mama angel, my daddy angel, and the baby angel. So it's mama bear, papa bear, and baby bear. But that's what they reminded me of, because it was 3 different sizes of the little wooden dolls. And I'm just adding it to its wings. Now I'm putting mama together here. She's the pretty one, of course. And I'm going to glue her to her wings, as you see. Most of the angels, I like to make them to where they can stand up, but the big butterfly, the wide butterfly mama angel, she couldn't stand up because of the way she had to be placed on the wings, because I don't want anything in the back showing as to that it might look like a butterfly. So here I have the little baby angel that I'm trying to find a pair of wings for him. And that I'm using seashells that you can also find at the Dollar Tree, but I actually picked these up myself when I was in Florida. So this is a tiny little doll, so I wanted small shell wings, and I do a lot of shell angels as well. I also do oyster Santas, I do oyster angels, in addition to the cotton ball angels. If you would like to see any of these, please leave a comment below and I will see what I can do for you. So I found his little wings and I'm putting them on him, get him all, glued together. I have a sister that lives down in Tampa, Florida area, and so when I get to go down there, and I do live on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but we do not have shells like this. You have to go out to the islands for that, and currently I don't have a boat, so we're not doing that. But when I go to Florida, I go and to Honeymoon Island and walk the North Shore and pick some shells. It's not as good as Sanibel, but it is close. So now I have these extra big shells left over. I'm like, I want to make some angels out of these guys. So what it is you just take one of the shells and put a ball on the top of the head with glue. And you'll notice, you'll kind of feel the best place to put that. And as you do it, you may have to add some glue. Once the initial glue dries, you can add more glue to stabilize it. And that's what I do, especially when I put their little shell wings on. I go back and I stabilize the wings with more glue on the inside as each section dries. So you can see I'm going to put these wings on this one, or I could use the butterfly wings if I wanted to, because it's very easy. I found it very difficult and usually expensive to find angel wings, so I'm glad to see that the butterfly wings work perfectly in the wood cutouts that you can find from the Dollar Tree. During the holidays, I am just constantly making angels and snowmen and Santa Clauses. Just seems to be the thing that I like to do during the holidays. And I hope that you will enjoy this craft and that it's been a good learning experience for you. So So you can see that I chose to put this shell with a butterfly wing, and I'm just making sure that it's well glued to that. And this one here, I'm going to do a shell wing so that you can see that. And there are many different types of shell angels. When I was growing up down here, you go to a souvenir shop and you would see all the shell angels everywhere, and lots of different shell art. So I haven't seen that in a long time. Of course, I haven't been in a souvenir shop in a while, but there are tons of different kinds of things you can do, and it's also a fun thing to do to remember your vacations. Maybe in the wintertime when you don't get to take a vacation, you can make things from found objects, and that is one of my favorite things to do, is found objects. I love to walk the beach, see what I can find, and then make something out of it, and that makes me absolutely happy. The beach brings us everything we need. So now I'm just painting the edges of my butterfly wings on Mama Angel. And this is Daddy Angel right here, the Mr. Rustic. And I'm going to go ahead and paint his little tin ribbon skirt. The other reason why I opened the paint and go back over these things is I do not like my glue gun glue to show. I guess it's from years of being a florist. You never show your work, so to speak. In other words, people aren't supposed to see the ugly parts of your work. They're supposed to only see the pretty parts. So I go back and I paint the glue sections where the hot glue would show, because that, nobody wants to see that. Even further, you'll see in a little bit that I go back with my my favorite thing, which is the Scribbles pearl colored 3D fabric paint, and I go back and put that around the necks, and I make it into buttons and do all kinds of decorating with it. And it's just like icing a cake. If you can ice a cake with anything, you can use these little Scribbles bottles. So I'm just making sure everything's nice and finished and looks good and doesn't have any glue showing. So now I'm going to put the crowns on the heads, and like I said, I don't do it just in a round circle. I just do a blob of glue, put the crown on, well, the halo, and then pour a little bit of glitter in the top so that the glue doesn't show again. That's another hiding tactic. Here's my baby angel. My little baby angel was so cute. It was teeny tiny with teeny tiny little wings. So I'm putting the halo on the Daddy Angel. At one point during doing these projects, I burned the tar out of my finger. Oh my goodness, it did hurt. So be careful and wear your finger protectors when you can. I don't know why, but I grew up in a flower shop and I never had finger protectors. But I just found them at Dollar Tree. They also sell those. They're hot pink. And I think, the ones I got were hot pink, and that was awesome. And I reuse my glitter to make sure that I reuse it and I don't waste it. So I try to do that. Now, I just wrapped this around. I tried different size pins till I got the one that I wanted. This happens to be a fabric stain pin. And wrap the halo around that to give me the round width of the halo. Set it in place, cover it in glitter, tap it off, and you're good to go on that one. I hope you enjoyed this and many of my other videos. I did a market window video that's all Dollar Tree, and it came out amazing. I've done mermaids. I've done all kinds of really cool projects that in my other videos as well. So please check them out. Subscribe and wait for us to come out with new videos each week. Preferably by Thursday is when I plan to have them out. Now what I'm doing with the angels is going back and adding a little jute twine bow on the front And to make sure that the bow, I just tie it like you tie your shoestrings. And to make sure it stayed in place, I added a little dab of glue because it wasn't sitting quite where I wanted it to. Now, when you embellish these little angels, you do whatever you want to do. You can do you. They sell half pearls at, like pearl stickies at Dollar Tree that you could use those. You could do anything you want to. For me, doing all the seashell angels, the pearl just seems to work really well, and to me it's a classic look anyways, so that's why I use that a lot of times as embellishments. So now I'm on Daddy Angel, and I am just going over him with some royal gold folk art paint, metallic paint. And this is, I was popping up the little metal ribbon that's across the bottom of his outfit and going over his wings very lightly, kind of dry brushed. I don't want to go heavy on this, and the best thing about the folk art royal gold is it's kind of transparent and it's not too heavy. That's why I think I like it so much, and it's like an antique gold. Years ago when I had my store, I had a guy who was one of my artists who turned me on to the royal gold, and I know it's crazy, but I use it on many, many things. There are some things that I use all the time, and this is one of them. And see how pretty it is? It's just a little bit of gold antiquing to make it come up. The next one, let's see. I have to put the jute twine. I made a jute twine hanger, and I just glued it to the back of my angels so that they have something to hang from. I set it to the side so it can dry. And on this, now you can see I'm using my Scribbles 3D fabric paint. That is a pearl color, and I'm making little buttons down the front of my shell angel and little knobs across the bottom, just like frosting a cake. And the last thing I do with that is I go over it with a little extra fine iridescent glitter glue. Glitter just sprinkled on there, and it just adds a little tiny bit of sparkle, not a ton, but just a little bit of sparkle. And to me, all holidays must have sparkle and magic. Okay. The next one is the other shell angel with the butterfly wings, and on this one I'm going to do an actual face. It's your choice whether or not you want to do faces. I've done them with faces, without faces, and I will tell you they tend to look more adult if you do them without faces, and more, I don't know how to put it, not childlike, but not as adult, and I don't know how you'd say it. But this one has a little sweet face with her sweet eyes closed and a big smile across her face. And like I said, it's all dependent on the person, and to me it depends on each one that I do as to whether or not I think it needs a face. Most of these that I'm doing today, because they're that shabby chic farmhouse kind of look, don't need faces. I just put one on this one so you could see what it looked like, and I ended up using my Faber-Castell copper pin as my design and face on there. And I was looking at the halo, and the halo is like really bright, so I toned it down with my royal gold folk art metallic paint, and you can see better. And I kind of dry brushed a little bit across the bottom of her dress. Now I've done these to where they look like they're wearing little aprons, all kinds of stuff. And you can even find larger shells. They had hanging shells one time at Big Lots, but like I said, I picked these up personally, but you can get some of them from either Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or Michael's. In Michael's you would look in the floral section for the shells. Alright, I'm finishing up the baby angel by putting a little jute twine around its neck, and you can't really see, but right this second, but you will in a minute. To the mama angel, I did add some of that tin ribbon that I had on the daddy angel, and I painted it the same color, that wheat color. So on the middle of the angel, and after I finished with this, because I did go and, you know, add the gold, the royal gold, to the angel to make everything stand out in a very dry brush manner, and you can see it starting to pop, and it gives it that pop look, you know, and makes it stand out. So I wish I had done the ribbon higher up on the daddy angel like I did on this one, because I thought this one came out really beautiful. And you don't have to use the wheat color. You could use white and do the same process. You could change it to a color. You can do anything you want. You do you on this. Make them look beautiful. I've got all different sizes of butterfly wings in my stash, so that I can make any size that I really want to make. So the baby angel, I'm like, well, it's missing its little gold, so I put some just on the tip of its wings, because its wings are shells. And then I went over the body, just dragging it down in one direction with the gold. And even on the face and the head, I went one direction with the gold, just to antique it out. I just love the way this one came out. So for the final thing that I'm going to do to the angel, and there's lots and lots of different ways you can finish these guys. I'm going to put the jute twine bow on the front of the angel. I just have to have something around their necks. I don't know why, I just do. So, yet another way to decorate. So I put one on the baby. And these make for great little gifts. You could attach it to a wine bottle. You could put it in a little box and tissue and make it, you know, full of tissue, and make it like it's something really spectacular to open. You can hang them on your tree. You can hang them from your ceiling fan during the holidays. My mom, she hung, good Lord, everything from the ceiling fan, especially during the holidays. In fact, one time, because, you know, she was a floral designer for 41 years, like me, and she actually hung a Christmas tree upside down from the ceiling fan. You would not believe it, and it spun around. She would decorate so big time for Christmas. I can't even describe. It was just beyond amazing. I really don't have the pictures of like the big decorations, because she really didn't take pictures at that time. And oh my gosh, though, we lived out in the country, and you know, we decorated inside because we knew nobody would see the outside of our house. So here I'm taking just regular old hot glue and going around the very edges of my butterfly wings, and then putting my extra fine glitter on the hot glue to cover it and make it look pretty. I didn't really want to add more white to this. And the even funnier thing about my mom decorating for Christmas is she never ended up taking all the Christmas decorations down. It would be August before we realized that there would still be something hanging up that was Christmas. And that was not on purpose. But many people leave trees up year-round down here now. And I always have Christmas lights in my trees out front. But they're, you know, just clear lights, not colored. Yet. I hope you've enjoyed this. It came out really, really pretty. I was very happy with all of these angels and all the different types of angels that you can make with just a few little ingredients. You can make anything you want. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you being here. Please share and subscribe and let your friends know. These are some individual pictures of the angels, and I really hope you come again and watch with us again. Thank you. Hi, did you click that subscribe button and the notification bell? Well, if you don't hit that notification bell, you will miss out on our Thursday videos. So please go ahead, click it, and you'll be able to watch our videos that are coming up.